in the back of his head. Before seeing how that situation plays out though, we're then brought back over to the past with Bruce ending their little driving lesson because Tim was just overthinking too much. And according to Tim, it was because he was thinking about failing while trying to drive the Batmobile in an emergency situation. Knowing that he had what it took to get the hang of things though, Bruce would then express that if that time ever came, there was nobody he'd want behind the wheel more than him because he trusted him as his partner. Our story then jumps back over to present day with Tim trying to bring Batman back to his senses, but he was so dizzy and distraught that he could barely hear what Tim was saying and barely get back up on his feet. So Tim lifted his arm around his shoulder, assuring him that the cops should be okay until the EMTs arrived, before finding themselves in the very situation they had previously trained for, because despite bleeding himself, it was now Tim's time to prove himself by driving them home in the Batmobile. And upon strapping himself in, he was a bit overwhelmed when Bruce informed him that this Batmobile had 13 gears and counting. 9 standard gears, 3 quantum gears for spatial temporal travel, and then a secret 13th gear. But right now, none of that was important because Tim just needed to put his freaking foot on the gas. After that, we see them blasting through the streets of Gotham as Gotham's local news stations began reporting on tonight's incident, indicating that 6 of the prisoners who escaped the police convoy had been recovered, but they were waiting for a statement from Commissioner Savage. And after Savage skimmed over the crime scene as the injured officers were loaded into the ambulance, he then called in every one of Gotham's officers for a meeting down at the department, expressing that Batman and Robin were the sole cause of what had happened, before stating that they were now criminals and enemies of the GCPD. But sadly, that's where this issue comes to an end. But if you guys want to see what happens next, let me know in the comments